Hi, my name is Steph. I'm here today with Kaki King talking about mental health issues. Some of your music is quite dark. How do you think your music has helped you deal with your emotions, especially those negative emotions?
I think that music is the language of emotion, really. I think that if you want to express sadness, there's nothing better than instrumental music. As a younger person, I dwelled in that world a little bit too much. Like, I was very emotional, and I was lucky to have music. I was lucky to have music to write and to feel like I had something that would comfort me, and it really did. And as I grew older, sort of living in a dark place is very tiring. And I was afraid that if I let go of negative feelings, if I let go of resentments, if I let go of that stuff that was really hurting me, that I wouldn't be able to write good music. And I was completely wrong.
Did you have a good support system when you were dealing with your sexuality and coming out?
No, no, not at all. But at the same time, I was, I didn't have a support. There was no support system in the universe. I mean, in the world. There weren't gay characters on TV. There wasn't. It wasn't sort of just another way to be. It was like, it's in certain communities, especially when I was growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, if you were a gay man and you came out, it could have been a death sentence. It was really, really different. And what I was saying, I didn't know other gay people. I didn't have a role model that was like, oh, like that person's gay, I'll just do what they do. It just didn't exist. So it was sort of like, how do I invent who I am for myself? And then, I got a little bit older and I got out of my parents' house and I moved to New York, and things, my circumstances changed, and it was easier to express myself. At the same time, the world was changing very fast. And there were gay role models, and there were gay politicians, and there were, it suddenly became this fringe thing, and oh, you poor thing, I'm so sorry that you're gay. So like, oh, you're gay? Oh, great.
Growing up in the US, did you find that there was a stigma associated with talking about mental health issues?
I think that people don't want to talk about it, and I think it's not okay. It's okay to say I'm sick, I have cancer, but you can't say I'm sick, I'm bipolar. It's totally not the same thing at all. And I think that a lot of people really struggle with that, and a lot of people hide whatever diagnosis they might have because of the shame associated with it. I think it's really crucial for people, especially people with mental health problems, to engage in something creative. And there's so much therapy in creation. And I think that there's not a lot of therapy necessarily in consumption. And I think that our society places an emphasis on consumption, even in a subtle way of like, haven't you heard this new band? And why aren't you going to see this thing? And you haven't seen that movie? Well, like, now we're in an age we can make our own music and make our own movies and take our own photos. And so I think that creating something and feeling proud of it, even if no one sees it, it's pretty great for mental health and self-esteem, and letting off, getting things out of your system that otherwise fester and make it hard for life.
Do you think music helps people communicate the issues that they're dealing with surrounding mental health?
I think that there's so many songs and pieces of literature and art, there's, plays that are basically someone saying, help me, I'm in a dark place, what's going on with me right now is really, really bad. And you can't just say that in conversation, but you can certainly sing it, and it might be a #1 hit.
Other than music, what other outlets do you have to help you deal with stress or anxiety?
I don't know, I think someone very famous and very bright once said you need to read every day, write every day, and speak with people every day. And I try to do those things. I try to read, I try to write some music, and I try to just interact. As people that suffer from mental health issues tend to isolate, I know that I do. I know that's my favorite thing to do, especially when I'm getting darker and darker. And I know that that's really dangerous. So I have to go and reach out to other people, especially just saying, how are you doing? Not like, can I talk about all my problems, but try to be useful to someone else. It's really good for me.